Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for Christ the King Sunday, the last Sunday in November, and we're looking at the gospel lesson, and I can't do this children's sermon, or I think of Christ the King Sunday without thinking of Monty Python and the whole scene of I'm your king. I'm not even going to do the accent, but your king, we didn't vote for you. You don't vote for a king. And so the whole story about how he became king. That doesn't sound like a... Anyway, but the text, the gospel lesson, is a really, in my opinion, a really great one to get at the idea when we look at Christ the King. Even though king is not a language we use a lot, though in stories we have, there is the idea of a king. So kids will get an idea in story, in fantasy books and things like that. There's the king, and whether that be a good king or a bad king and all that. But the idea of Jesus going to the cross, that when you think of a king and you think of power, you don't think about going to the cross. You don't think about suffering. You don't think about serving. A king is served. People come to a king and they see the king or the queen and they serve. It's not the other way around. Thinking of Rich Mullins and his song, The Kingdom Upside Down, and that whole sense of God taking the power structure, whether that be the Magnificat, whether that be the cross. I mean, God turns the power structure upside down. Crossways, the Bible study, their logo has the servant king, where Jesus wearing the crown is on his knees, the servant king. So the direction I'm going is I'm going to use a superhero, but I'm going to reverse it. Whether that be, whether that be Superman. Here's Superman, and guess what? Superman's going to take on his identity, and that is Clark Kent. Dun-da-da! Reversing. Here's Peter Parker. But reverse that. Here's Spiderman, and you know what? Spiderman is going to go into action, and he's going to put on his other persona, and he's going to be Peter Parker, and he's going to go into the world. You get the idea, that reversal, and it's ridiculous. Kids hear it, and they go, what? That's silly. It would be like Shazam in the movie, where Shazam reverts, instead of Shazam being... Shazam's there, and he goes, Shazam! And he goes back to the kid, and that's the superhero. We don't expect the reversal. We don't expect the, we'll put it bluntly, in those scenes, we don't expect the weakling, and I do use that in quotes. We don't expect the one that serves. We don't expect the servant to be the king. And we see that in the followers of Jesus, that when that direction goes, that they're like, what? This is not what we expected from our king, or this is not what we expected from the Messiah. So some language here I wouldn't use in the kids' sermon, but that's the direction I'm going, that reversal, things happening. So there we go. I hope this can be useful, and again, I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. It does help, and it helps me see who is viewing it, or I don't see who's viewing. Anyway, you know what I mean. Like, subscribe. If you're seeing this on YouTube, you might want to check out dskidsermons.com, and that has other ideas for Christ the King Sunday. There's a donate button if you want to use that. But always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week.